justifying factors. Adding value to higher limits simply means explaining the concept of higher limits. Now, we're not going to review the actual specifics or the details of the higher limits or when it benefits them to actually obtain those limits. What we're going to talk about is adding value to those limits. Now, higher limits could simply be, instead of 15, 30, and 5, it could be 30, 50, and 15, for instance. But the most common is always 100, 300, and 50. Now, the difference between the monthly payment may be an additional $10, $15. So the insurance company is going to offer, let's say $70, $80 for basic liability. Let's just assume $70 for now. They're going to offer $70 just for basic liability. That's what the law requires. 15, 30, and 5. $70. Now, for higher limits of liability, for 100, 350, they may offer an additional $15. So we're looking at $85 for a total of 100, 350. So for the difference of $15, you're going to emphasize, for a difference of $15, the insurance company is willing to offer almost 5 times more the coverages. So instead of 15, they're going to offer 100. Matter of fact, this is almost 10 times more. So instead of $15,000, they're going to offer $100,000 for medical payments per person. Instead of $30,000, they're going to offer $300,000 worth of coverages. So that means 10 times more the coverages. Instead of $5,000 for basic liability, they're going to offer $50,000. So literally, we are talking about 10 times more the coverages. So therefore, for an additional $15, they're getting 10 times more coverages on their liability, which is fantastic, by the way. Now, you're going to emphasize on the fact that just in case, at least within the property damage limits, just in case they hit a vehicle that's worth $30,000, $40,000 and it's a total loss, guess what? For those $15, they're actually getting up to $50,000 worth of coverages. So is it worth it? Absolutely. Is it worth paying those extra $15? 100% worth it. Simply because for $15, they're getting 10 times more the coverages. Instead of $15,000, they're getting $100,000. Instead of $30,000, they're getting $300,000. Instead of $5,000, they're getting $50,000. So in case there's a lawsuit, in case they want to go after their property or their business, they have 10 times more the coverages to protect themselves from being in that situation. So once again, is it beneficial? Absolutely. For $15 more every single month, they get 10 times more of coverages within the liability. So it's worth it. So add value to the higher liability coverages, emphasize on the difference between the cost and the limits that they're getting, and customers are going to see the big picture. Customers always focus on monthly payments, on the difference of the monthly payment, on the additional extra dollars that they don't want to pay, but they really don't focus on the benefits of the coverages or the situation. So it's mandatory to add value, to convince them on the concept that for an additional couple of dollars, they're getting 10 times more the coverages.